Hey everyone, good evening. I'm Darrell Winninger, Chief Meteorologist at Central Oregon Daily News, and across the high desert on this Monday, it's almost been our winter reset. We started off cold. Temperatures topped out near and a little above average for this time of the year, and we have tons of sunshine. Now, after this past weekend, when we got all those showers, we even got more mountain snow. That's definitely some good news. Even more good news is on the way, and a couple changes are expected this week, but for the most part, we're looking at the biggest system hitting by Saturday and Sunday. So let's start off with where we're sitting right here and right now. This is a deep dive into your most reliable forecast. We're going to look at the weather pattern changes that are on the way, why it's changing, what it means for the rest of this week, and when the really big changes arrive later this week, and all that starting with tons of sunshine. And through the day, we started off with a few pockets of fog got lifted up and dissipated where we had it, but for the most part, we've been under this sunshine. And when it comes to any reduced visibility, we don't really see anything. We don't even see too much in the way of lower clouds. But if that happens again tonight, we won't even start to see it until well after sunset, getting close to 9 to 10 o'clock. Quick look outside right now. We have dry roads, and in the mountains, some of those roads are still a little on the slick side. But for the most part, the biggest concern we're looking at tonight is where we've gotten fresh snow and a little bit of that melted today. We see those wet roads. A refreeze is expected. Already some of the temperatures, the air temperatures up through the passes are already below freezing. It's going to get even colder through the overnight hours. But just look at some of these numbers. This is just as of 2 p.m. We got between 6 and 12 inches of snow through the Cascades. In the lower elevations, I got some reports of a few snowflakes, but that was pretty much it. Mostly just rain. Now, for tonight, we're not looking at too much in the way of new snow. Less than an inch even expected. Through the day tomorrow, no new precipitation in the planner, but look at those temperatures topping out just above freezing. It's going to only be above freezing for a couple of hours. We're not looking at too much in the way of melting, but some compaction definitely going to be possible. So Tuesday at a glance, through the day, we're not looking at too much at all in the way of precipitation. Those temperatures still near and a little above average for this time of the year. Look, we're looking at another round of mid to upper 40s, some 50s, and we're back to no precipitation in sight until we get to Tuesday night going into Wednesday. We'll talk about that more here in just a little bit. For the rest of Central Oregon, however, mostly sitting under a ridge of high pressure, we do have some clouds, and that's about it. A little bit of shower activity on the other side of the Cascades, including from Portland all the way up through the Olympic Peninsula and even getting up to the international line. So when we switch from a blend of infrared and visible satellite imagery and just go to infrared imagery, what we see is a little bit more activity happening just offshore of California. That's actually our next low pressure system. With added isobars, you can actually see where that center of low pressure is. That's going to get a little closer to the coastline and then work its way straight north into the Pacific Northwest. This is the first week system that we're tracking, and it holds off until Tuesday night going into Wednesday. Outside of that, looking at the rest of the Pacific Ocean, there's a strong system over the tail end of the Aleutian Islands, a broad ridge of high pressure, and another low that's starting to develop over the Gulf of Alaska. But for Central Oregon, we mostly have dry air, that dark blue getting into the yellow color. Dry air, and there are some clouds that have been rolling through the high desert, but when it comes to our forecast model, we don't have much at all in the way of precipitation expected at all. Mostly where we have some of this overnight fog, we could see some flurries. It's the biggest chance that we have through tonight. Then by Tuesday afternoon, more clouds are expected. By Tuesday night, going into Wednesday, this is when a few of those light snow showers could drift into Central Oregon, and that's our best chance in the next 36 hours for any snow. It's not even a good one. Another weak system rolls in Friday, but that one fizzles out as well. It's really not going to be until the weekend that it takes shape that we're going to get more precipitation. So when it comes to relative humidity, for the most part, we are dry. We'll call it moderate. It's not too bad. And actually, it looks like there's a little heart right over Central Oregon. Oh, I love that. Okay, now high temperatures are today in the last 24 hours, mostly in the mid to upper 40s with some 50s on the map. Even got to 55 degrees in Warm Springs today. It's still 52 in Warm Springs. with most of us in the 40s and some 30s on the east slopes of the Cascades. So 38 in Sisters, 39 in Sun River, also 38 in La Pine. This is actually putting us between 1 degree cooler and 5 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. So for tonight, we are falling back down into the 50s, and even with those in the 50s, pardon me, we're falling back into the 20s. I saw 25, and for some reason, I just went to the other way. Okay, so we're falling back into the 20s with a few teens. By tomorrow through the 40s, then we're reaching into the 50s. Some 50s are expected across the high desert. Here's how this really plays out. We are expecting more sunshine across the high desert, then tracking that next system, which is going to be way to our south on Tuesday. Doesn't even come into the Pacific Northwest till Tuesday evening. Highs are going to be in the 40s with some 50s. Then fast forward, that next system rolls in with a warm front, then it starts to fizzle out for the most part. Highs on Wednesday, 40s and a few 30s, so we're getting a dip in temperatures, but some snow showers are going to be possible. By Thursday, mixture of sunshine and cloud cover, 50s and some 40s. So notice that roller coaster temperature pattern, ups and downs. And the main reason is we're warming up a little bit Tuesday. We get a weak system Tuesday night going into Wednesday. That brings our dip in temperatures for Wednesday. Then we warm back up Thursday. By Friday and Saturday, a different shift in the weather pattern. Here's how it plays out. First off, we are going to be watching this low. That's the one that works its way to the north. In fact, I'm going to stay zoomed out so you can kind of see that. Let's go ahead and set this into motion, and I'll dive in when we need to. So going forward, we are looking at that low pressure system offshore starting to work its way inland, and as it works its way inland, it starts to hit the coastline. At that point, it's going to recurve to the north. Notice some areas of fog are possible Tuesday morning, and then that warm front starts to bring showers to Northern California and Northern Nevada, and all of that pushes to the north. As it does, we start to see some snow showers Tuesday night going into Wednesday. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Tuesday night going into Wednesday, some snow showers possible, but few and far between. Not much in the way of totals, and then that low fizzles out. After that, we're going back and forth from sunshine to some clouds through the next couple of days until Friday. That's when our next system starts to roll in, and that's when we start to get another chance of wintry mix later in the day. So Friday afternoon getting into the evening, and then overnight some snow. By Saturday, more snow showers are in the forecast, and this pattern continues until Monday. So let's look at the GFS. This is a long-range forecast model. It actually shows that same thing happening with that weak system Tuesday night going into Wednesday, then in and out clouds by Friday, rain and snow showers during the PM hours, then snow Saturday, snow showers Saturday night going into Sunday, periods of clearing, and another system by the beginning of next week. So ultimately, between now and Thursday at 11 p.m., we are looking at getting some precipitation, just not a lot at all. In fact, it's mostly going to be some flurries and sprinkles Tuesday night going into Wednesday. Then Friday, that's when we start to see a shift in the weather pattern with some accumulating snow in the lower elevations, just not a lot. So winds at a light breeze, gusts not too strong either, about 2 to 10 miles per hour for those gusts, 2 to 12 miles per hour. And when it comes to the winds trend, it is going to get breezy at times on Tuesday, and that's about it. So for tonight, 20s with a few teens, some pockets of fog, and in and out clouds. By tomorrow, we are looking at 40s with a few 50s out there, and temperatures up and down through the next several days. By Friday, we start to introduce that chance of PM rain and snow showers, and then some snow Saturday and Sunday. Winds getting gusty Sunday and Monday. So through this holiday weekend, we have Valentine's Day Saturday. On Monday, we have President's Day. We're looking at a big drop in temperatures and maybe some accumulating snow, but that's pretty far out to actually put numbers on it. So cold starts, in and out clouds continue with weak systems Tuesday and Wednesday, and then again on Friday, and roller coaster temperatures. But right now, it is not too bad out there. Enjoy these 40s. That's the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News.